All right, Maria, let's just jump right into it. Vamos a hacer este episodio a troche y moche.
A what?
Exactly. A troche y moche. No planning. We're just going to jump right in and start talking about this phrase. Have you ever heard it?
No.
A troche y moche.
A troche y moche. That's our expression
That's
for today?
our expression for today in Just a Spanish Phrase, the podcast where we dissect and explore the origins of Spanish idioms.
Well, I can tell you in Venezuela, guys, don't use that expression because nobody's going to understand what you're saying.
But you have to admit it has a nice ring to it. Troche y moche. It rhymes, at least, internal rhyme.
Troche y moche. That sounds like nothing I've ever heard of. Do you use that in Peru?
Well, it's not super common, but I have heard it. I have used it maybe once or twice in my life successfully, but I know that it is used in Spain and apparently it is very, very popular in Argentina.
Okay, a troche y moche. And I don't even know what it means. I don't know the origin, so you'll have to help me here.
Well, I'm going to help you by telling you what it means, what equivalent phrases would be in English. It's doing something willy-nilly.
Okay, I'm exactly the same as when
Still
we started.
confused?
Yes.
Okay, how about this one? It's doing things helter-skelter.
I have no idea. Like it. I mean, they sound cute. They rhyme. Is it being cute?
It's not being cute.
I'm being willy-nilly. Yes, I'm being all cutie. No, that's not what it means. Okay.
Well, the thing that I love about these phrases is that just like the phrase itself, which sounds like gibberish, right? It sounds like nonsensical words.
Yes, like babbling. No,
like babbling.
Okay.
Yeah. Willy-nilly, helter-skelter, and of course, today's Spanish expression, a troche y moche. It means doing things in a haphazard, disorderly, confusing, and rushed way. Any and all of the above.
Oh, like our government.
Exactly. Oh, it didn't take you long to bring that in.
Sorry, I didn't want to.
No,
go ahead,
I applaud you. Yes, things that are done in a nonsensical way, in a rushed fashion, wasn't it only last week that our Secretary of, I was going to say defense, but they renamed it to war. The Secretary of War called in all the generals from the United States to meet just so that he could talk to them about shaving their beards and being overweight.
But I think that was probably planned.
It felt a troche y moche
to
me. But yeah, that's, I guess it's subjective, yes, but that's the meaning of the expression, doing things in a haphazard, confusing, random way.
Interesting. I can't think of many countries acting like that nowadays.
Before we jump into that, though, can I tell you about the origin of this expression? This is one of my favorite
Please,
parts.
because I don't want to think of politics right now. So go ahead.
Hopefully we can find another example that's not so political, but likely will end up there because it's perfectly fitting with this expression. So, a troche y moche, these two words, which are really nonsensical words, but they do come from real words. Troche comes from trocear, to break down into pieces.
Okay.
And moche comes from mochar, which means it's like when you chop a tree, when you take away all the leaves and the smaller limbs to expose the trunk.
So you're cutting things into pieces in very messy ways?
Yes, exactly. And it comes precisely from the world of logging, from lumberjacks and cutting down trees. So the expression came from when logging was done in a messy way, without the planning, without the planning for the future, so that those trees could regrow and keeping everything well. It was just going in and cutting everything down in a messy fashion.
I think I can think of an example that I was actually discussing with friends the other day. Is art being done a troche y moche nowadays?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is art going too far? Or even fashion. I read about the latest Jean-Paul Gaultier fashion show, and they were saying, like, fashion, can it be provocative anymore after it has gone so far already.
And do you think that's a result of the pressure of fast fashion, where now we're expecting new designs and new lines faster and faster
Well,
every
I
year?
think being unexpected is being expected. So then it's no longer unexpected.
Oh, wow, you just blew my mind. But I think it's perfectly fitting. If being unexpected is expected, then you just do things a troche y moche, like,
Right?
because that's the only way to really truly be unexpected.
But of course, I imagine somebody seeing a Jackson Pollock or a Kandinsky for the first time, they probably said, "What is this? This is done a troche y moche."
Yeah, it's true. Or yeah.
Or even a
I can see that.
Picasso is like, this guy doesn't know how to draw. He's doing this eye here, like mouth there. This is done a troche y moche. So I guess art has always been perceived as made a troche y moche, even when it's not.
But then years later, in retrospect, then you start appreciating all the thought that went into it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I
When it
wonder.
becomes more valuable.
It's an ongoing discussion.
Ooh, but before we jump into that, there was one more thing about the origin, which I think you'll love.
Mm-hmm.
I found it very interesting. So yes, the phrase comes from the world of logging. At least that's what the linguists agree is the most likely origin. But there's one story which gives the phrase its modern meaning. Not just doing something quickly and rushed, but actually doing it in a messy, disorderly, and kind of like on a whim.
Okay.
Okay. So we have to go back to the reign of Isabella la Católica,
Mm-hmm.
Queen Isabella the First. Apparently, when a noble in her kingdom disagreed with her too many times or, rubbed her the wrong way, she would send her people to knock down their towers.
Wow.
As a punishment. And that haphazard, whimsical, disorderly way of knocking down these towers like trees is how a troche y moche got its meaning of doing something in a messy, destructive, haphazard way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love all these history examples.
Now, what's happening nowadays that's similar to a queen taking out her personal grudges on her nobles like that?
What is similar to like a king nowadays, for
Yeah.
example?
Going after their political rivals? Yeah.
Yeah, or going after a certain segment of the population without no plan and without no place to put them, stuff like
God.
that. No, I cannot think of anything.
Yeah, I think we already said enough just with that.
I think that's clear enough what a troche y moche means. Okay, but going back to the art conversation.
Yes, let's go back to art.
Do you think, for example, the banana in the wall with tape is that took a lot of thought of planning, or it's like I'm gonna create this effect in people, or that was done a troche y moche?
Was that a Banksy? The banana?
No, a Catalan, Mauricio Catalan.
Oh, that's right, the banana with the duct tape.
Yes.
So, yes. Okay.
That I think was sold in like millions of dollars.
I think that's one of the, and people will disagree with me on this, but that's one of the beauties of modern art and performance art, because that was also in a way a piece of performance, like the act of taping the banana. I think the banana had to be replaced every once in a while because it would rot, right?
Yes, and whoever bought it, I think, ate it right away. It made me think, talking about a troche y moche, I don't know the artist, but we covered this in News in Slow Spanish at some point. There was this work of art in a museum, and the cleaning lady of the museum picked it up and threw it in the
Because it looked like trash?
Yes.
Okay, so here's where, to give you my full answer, things can look like they are done, made willy-nilly, a troche y moche. But I think I'd like to believe that the artist really did put some thought into that.
I did read an autobiography by Salvador Dali, and he said that at some point he had a commission, a piece that he needed to deliver to Washington, and he slept on it. He didn't do it, and somebody rang the bell, and so he grabbed two escarabajos. How do you
Yeah.
say escarabajo?
Beetles?
Two beetles, dipped them into painting, made them run around a piece
Oh,
of
no.
paper, and he delivered that like a work of art.
That was truly done a troche y moche.
That was a troche y moche, but it was Salvador Dali. I guess he could do whatever he wanted.
So he got away with it. Oh no, you just destroyed my argument about the artist really putting thought into it. But okay, last thing, since you brought up Dali, I recently heard a story on the radio about the reason that there are so many counterfeits of Dali is that when he was still alive, he would give publishers blank pieces of paper with his signature on it, his real signature, so that they could do prints of his work later on, signed. And of course, many of those copies of paper got lost conveniently or stolen or, used in not to make original Dali prints, but counterfeits.
Interesting. And that's art.
Yeah.
We're talking about it how many years later?
Exactly. And it was done a troche y moche.
A troche y moche. All right, friends, I think that was it for today.
And we'll come back soon with another expression on just the Spanish phrase.
Adios.